Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, PlayStation 30th anniversary. Woo. Happy birthday to you. Yeah. Yes. I made the 20th anniversary of the Xbox video, and now we got the 30th anniversary of the PlayStation video. Can you believe it's been 30 years? 29 for many of us. But yeah, this bad boy started pretty much everything for all you Sony ponies out there. Uh, I get mine in '95 or was it '96? I don't know. But you can see my original box here from KB Toys. Of course, they had to slap a sticker on the box, so thanks for that. But this had some really good games and created quite the legacy. Because as you know, you got PS2, best-selling system of all time. Even though they magically came up with 4 million units out of nowhere, just to spite Nintendo. You got the PS3, which had a pretty bad launch because of its stupid high price point, which is not much more than consoles are today, if we're being honest. Or was the 20 gig, which I had no interest in getting because it was all about 60 and up. But of course, had I known that you could replace the, oh, I think there were other features on the 3. Anyway, that's beside the point. And the PS4, PS4 Pro, PS5. Now there's the PS5 Pro, which I want the 30th anniversary edition because it looks like this and it looks much nicer than just plain boring white. But it is what it is, and that's like $700 if you get it without a disc. But anyway, oh, don't forget PSP, PSP Go, for what that's worth, the Vita, PSTV, and PSX, the PS2 with an HD installed from the get-go that could record as a DVR as well. Of course, with digital rights management, that means nothing today, does it? But yeah, this is the system that started everything in the OG US box here, circa, like we said, late 95 to early 96. You got a whole bunch of peripherals you can get on the side, a whole list of games. So, like we said, it had already been out for a year. And we've got the Write-In Project. Really, that release here? Ridge Racer. Yeah, at one point they launched a game for every Ridge Racer at the start of a new console, which was good stuff. So yeah, I was really amazed with this. There's the contents. You got the RCA cables, power cable, one controller, and the thing. And I remember having to go out and buy a second controller so my friend could play with me. Oh god, and it's right on top. That's beautiful. And since I had previously spiked the Super Nintendo controller, he's like, "Don't spike this. This is an expensive controller." And that was when they were only $25. Now you're lucky if you get a Black Friday sale on Amazon for what was it, 56 or whatever. But yeah, there's the original controller. Very cool. God, I haven't held this in years. And yeah, because mostly when I play, I use my PS2 because it plays both. But oh my god, and this thing got so much abuse at the end. Well, not abuse, but use. Boom. I hope it looks, and don't mind the clock. But oh yeah, there it is, and the classic PlayStation gray. I hope it's still gray and not brown and dirty. In the back, you got the RCA, some AV multi-out, serial I/O, parallel port even. And yeah, but I played so many games on this, and yeah, because I had this alongside the N64. I was just playing them back and forth. I think I ended up getting more games for this simply because they were cheaper to manufacture and games just released here. So a lot of my third party and And some games were exclusive here. Apparently it was a better 2D machine than the N64 turned out to be because of architecture and whatever. And of course, the Saturn is better at 2D than even more than this thing. But yeah, no, there were tons of games here, and I'll always cherish my time with PlayStation. And look what it's led to today. You know, I'm a part-time streamer and YouTuber and everything. So, oh, it does look a little brown with age now that it gets into some different light. But you know, it can't be helped. That's the materials they use in the plastic. So, I mean, again, it served me well. It was a great launching point, great entry for Sony to get into the console space. After their feud with Nintendo over the Super Nintendo CD, I believe it was, or Nintendo PlayStation. And apparently there's even a prototype out there, although whether that's real or not is actually up for some debate. But the reason I actually got this is because I wanted to play one game. And you can make your guesses now as to what game that actually is. But I guarantee you'd be wrong. Because I wanted this game after my first semester in university. Because they had Street Fighter Alpha Arcade. And I saw this was on the PlayStation, and this was the game I had to have, which was the reason I bought this machine. Which means I may have played it at a friend's place in summer of '96, which may have been when I actually got my machine. I'm not sure. It's the date on the KB stamp. If it is, then I don't see it. But let me close this up a little bit. Make for a nicer video. But yeah, I wanted to play Street Fighter Alpha on PlayStation, and that's why I got the thing. And who knows if this will actually make 31 days or not, because the schedule's all bizarre now. You got the disc and the manual there. I'm not going to go through it like I normally do because we're focusing on the console and the games. But yeah, this came out here, and you can see it's not a jewel case. It's this large, beefy thing. I think it's plastic. Almost a precursor to a DVD case. So that was pretty cool. And the other game I got right at the start was a 3D battle action game, Battle Arena Toshinden, and I thought this was pretty cool because this was my first foray into 3D fighting. And yeah, the graphics were amazing at the time. The controls were amazing at the time for a 3D game, which you know, I've been used to Street Fighter and 2D and a little bit of Mortal Kombat thrown in there. But yeah, so this was change your brain. You have to wrap your head around what's going on here, because I even got this before Mario 64. So that's how long ago I was playing that. So that's pretty cool. And then I don't know if I got these at launch or right after, but also at SC they had Bust a Move down in the dental basement, dental school. And I saw they had Bust a Move 2 here, which is actually Puzzle Bobble. But yeah, they had Bust a Move 2, so I played this. It had the branching paths. I thought that was very different, and the different stage designs. So, wider stage designs, I believe. So that was cool. And I also got this at or near when I got the system. And one more, which I have never heard anyone talk about before or since. And it was kind of difficult. I didn't play it too much. Descent here, also in. So yeah, these were in kind of like the giant jewel cases that the Saturn had for a time. And this was the other type of big plastic, not DVD case, but it looks like a DVD case. And it was a 3D shooter, and you know, I like shooters. But this really blew my mind. It was difficult. The graphics were amazing at the time. And yeah, so I got that very early on. And also, I mean, I thought this was actually the PlayStation mascot, because well, it says Naughty Dog, and Sony Computer Entertainment. And that's the thing, because weren't they bought by Activision, which is why Crash Bandicoot is no longer a PlayStation property. I think that's how it went. But yeah, no, Crash Bandicoot was awesome. Sort of a it's kind of 3D, it's kind of 2D, maybe 2D, 3D. That's what we're gonna go here, because the levels were mostly either linear, left to right, like traditional 2D scrollers, or front to back for a 3D action. But this was awesome, and when the boulder rolled at me for the first time, I probably almost crapped my pants. But this game was so good, and like I said, I thought this was going to become the Sony mascot, and it didn't, because probably reasons and licensing and whatever. So yeah, now it's actually Kratos from God of War, which was 2005 on the PlayStation 2, at the tail end of that system, before they actually got really going. And of course there was Spyro and stuff like that. But yeah, this game was fun to play, and it's on the PS4 in the whatever the collection's called. And one more game I'd like to talk about, the game that my college roommate and I were racing back and forth. So I don't know how we actually studied or went to class, but we did, and we played the crap out of it, and that's probably what cut the lifespan short of this system, which you know, I have to turn down now if it even has a chance to play, but because of the lens and everything. But that was, of course, Final Fantasy VII. I think I've talked about it on the channel before as one of the greatest games of all time. Much better than the remake, but this game at the time blew my mind. We were waiting for it. I think Star Fox 64 came out the beginning of that year, so that almost fit the bill. I had played Final Fantasy VI, well, as Final Fantasy III, of course, right before this as a build-up, so I was ready to roll, and I played this at least 6 times, once more in Japan. I got all the date scenes, which is Tifa, Yuffie, Aerith, and Barrett. I think I did a speed run in around 17 and a half hours. But actually, if I did boot it up and found the memory cards, then I could fact check that. Also need to fact check Super Metroid and some other stuff, because I swear I got 100% in around an hour and a half, and I beat The Legend of Zelda Link to the Past in about 4 hours 15 minutes straight without dying, back when I could do stuff like that. Probably still could if I put my mind to it. But now I'm rambling and not even talking about PlayStation anymore. But yeah, Final Fantasy VII was the game of games. I don't know why I didn't get Symphony of the Night, Castlevania. That was an oversight, but that would have been in the video had I had it back in the day. And there's a lot of other great games I haven't mentioned, because I just wanted to show some highlights here for the 30th anniversary of the Sony PlayStation. Let me know your favorite, if you had a PlayStation, your favorite PlayStation games in the comments. And you know what Sony should have picked as their mascot. Should they have stuck with Crash, or what? I don't know, because that is a parallel universe that we're not privy to, at least not yet. And you can tell I watch too much Marvel and read too much, or watch too much Star Trek as well. But anyway, yep, happy birthday PlayStation. You've been a great friend for many years, and with your children or descendants, I hope to have many more great years with you. So thanks for all the memories, Sony, and until next time, thank you for watching, and keep dancing. Oh yeah, Dance Dance Revolution, and Konamix, and Disney Mix, all that good stuff. Keep dancing.